There's been a lot of talk recently about Apple's waning iPhone sales. We're going to talk about how Apple's iPhone strategy is great for consumers, but in the short term may not be for investors. Welcome everyone, it is Andrew here from AppleInsider, and Apple's taken a very distinct strategy with the iPhone. They've been prioritizing the long-term benefits instead of short-term gains, which, as it turns out, is fantastic for consumers. One of the largest factors Apple has going for it is their steadfast commitment to quality in products. Sure, there are occasional missteps where something runs afoul, but by and large, the quality is unmatched. Having a quality product is good for investors by driving sales with a product people love and can trust. Moreover, it gives these devices long lifespans. Apple could make great products using cheaper materials, but they would fail much sooner and not be nearly as recyclable or good for the environment. These long lifespans are in direct opposition to what investors ultimately want: more upgrades. When a device doesn't last the 2 or 4 years most consumers use a device, and instead lasts 6 or more through aftermarket sales, consumers win. They get a device that lasts and provides value. The secondary buyer gets a more affordable device than Apple's prices, plus the original owner gets a substantial pile of cash for that old device. Not guaranteeing anyone else can do the same, but I recently sold my iPhone 6 Plus on eBay, a roughly 4-year-old device, for $250. That's a great subsidy towards a new phone. Once a phone ages a bit, the battery, which is a consumable, often needs to be replaced. Apple offered dirt cheap $29 battery replacements for everyone through the end of 2018. Another huge benefit for consumers and not necessarily investors. The program's now over, but the steep price cut really helped publicize the program. So while the cost may have risen, more people are aware of it and will likely utilize it when the time comes to help extend the life of their device. Beyond the physical quality of a phone, Apple's been investing heavily in its software platform. In 2018, Apple released iOS 12, which focused heavily on usability and stability rather than pumping out new features. Of course, it did have a ton of new features in it, over 150 by our count, but the major overhauls took a back seat to that stability and reliability. This helps the latest and greatest software, minus a few key features, run on years-old devices. This helps extend the lifespan of those devices further than just the excellent hardware. Somewhat recently, we've reached near saturation of the smartphone market. With no longer exploding growth, Apple's been targeting services where the number of new phones doesn't matter nearly as much, but the install base does. The more devices that are out there, the more Apple benefits. Processors and cameras that are now a few years old are still very capable, so the incremental changes we see each year aren't necessarily as lustworthy as they once were. A user who pays $250 for an iPhone 6 Plus isn't likely to grab one of the latest iPhones, but since the devices work so long, they can grab this 4-year-old device instead, still get into the Apple ecosystem where they can pay for apps and other Apple services. There is a difference between designing products that are meant to last briefly and require upgrades, creating products that last a few years, and purposefully designing ones that last well past the average lifespan for a phone. Apple chose option number 3, and it is great for consumers. But in the short term, not so much investors. In the long term, however, it's definitely going to pay off.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.